Well, good evening and welcome. I can't help it. I always get a big smile and chuckle when I hear the intro and the outro because I love the music. Welcome to Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. And every week, every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., I bring you a leading lady to bring you a lot of information that will benefit you on your journey. I am Joy Ruffin, and my work is as a leadership and style consultant, a signature style specialist, speaker, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster. And I work with women. They told me to stay with one generation, but I'm doing both generations because everyone needs to develop, discover, and design their own personal signature style. But tonight we're going to be talking a lot about something that we all need, not only working online, but everywhere. And that's how we get to branding and marketing and get strategies that work for us. This lady is a brand and marketing strategist. I call her Sam, but her name is Samdra Rodriguez. But she gave me the permission to call her Sam, and I'm sure you can call her Sam as well. Sam has been in this industry for quite a while. She has a fabulous background. We're going to talk about a lot of things that have to do with branding and marketing. So what do I want you to do? Well, I say it every week. I just want you to relax. I want you to sit back and get comfortable and grab whatever is going to keep you that way for 28, 30 minutes and help me to welcome our featured guest speaker tonight, Samdra Rodriguez. Sam, come on up. How are you?
Hello, how are you? I'm excited
I'm
to be
good.
here.
I'm happy to have you here. I bashed your name, but that's okay. You gave me the permission to call you
Sam.
Sam.
Yep, that's good.
Good, that's good. Sam, I'm happy to have you here because the work that you're doing is very much needed by so many people who are working online. And that's where we're going to stay pretty much. It could be corporate too, but pretty much online. Branding and marketing is very big today, more so since the pandemic hit and so many more people now are working online from home. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to this.
Absolutely. So I did not go to school to this for this. I actually am starting a master's degree right now. I actually went to school for pre-law. I wanted to be a lawyer, but I decided I don't know what happened. Sometimes it just happens, right? I just decided it wasn't for me. And I wanted to be a business owner. So my first business was a home bakery, and I absolutely loved it. Um, but I discovered social media. I discovered marketing. I discovered anything that has to do with marketing and branding, building a business, developing a business into a remarkable brand was something that I was like, I need to know more. So when
Mhm.
I that business, because of that business, I in doing cakes and all of that, I decided to learn about marketing and sales. And a couple of years ago, I decided that I wanted to become a social media manager, somebody who manages social media platforms for business owners. And it was up and coming, is something that a lot of people are doing right now. And it just seemed
Mhm.
I wanted to work from home, and it was something that I felt very confident in. I love the
Yes.
design aspect of a graphic, but
Yes.
I also love copy and captions, and how words can make people. The motto
Yes.
of business is the stories we tell become the offers that we sell, because I believe that
Yes.
we can sell through storytelling. So
Yes.
after I started as a social media manager, I quickly decided, I was like, you know what? I want to know more about businesses. I want to be their marketing strategist, their consultant when it comes to brand building. So that's how I became a brand strategist and designer. And I love it. If I could go back to school, which I'm going back right now, but if I
Yes.
could go and do my bachelor's, I would have done it as something like marketing, and that's why I decided to go back to school to enhance what I have learned. Because you don't definitely do not need to go back to school, but I just felt like I needed to
Mhm.
have a
Mhm.
little bit
Mhm.
more of a solidified background in marketing as I keep growing and as I keep working with corporations and business owners, right?
Sam, I love that story. You know why? For a lot of reasons. Let me share with you a few of them. First off, you said you started off we wanted to be a lawyer. I can feel and see why you might have wanted that. But what you said that's
Mm.
so potent and powerful for so many of us here tonight and those who will come for the replay is that you
Mhm.
found that somewhere along the way that you were more interested in business and you wanted to have your own business. But what's brilliant about what you said, after knowing that, you decided that branding and marketing was a big part of it. And that's where you wanted to concentrate your energies. And
Absolutely.
that's been my shortcoming. I didn't start that. I
Mm.
didn't have that branding and marketing aware. And so many people who come into and yet you can't do much business without that awareness. And also that after doing it for a while, you decided you wanted to be a social media manager because all of the things that it entails, you
Mhm.
found that you have a natural knack for. What a gift.
Yes,
What a
absolutely.
gift.
And I thought that I wanted to be a social media manager, but the thing is, and if there's any social media managers out there, becoming
Yes.
a social media manager meant for me at least that I was only owning that platform that I was managing and not their
Yes.
marketing. So I wanted to know more about their funnels. I wanted to know more about the business owner itself and where do they see themselves in a couple of years so that we can brand them online and showcase that vision that they have for their business. So I wanted to know more, and that's what happened. I wanted to look into just expanding how I was able to assist them in their marketing.
I love that. You know why? Because here's what I know for sure, and I know you probably can embrace and accept this. So many people who are working online and in any type of business are highly creative and want to
Mhm.
have their own business and go to be an entrepreneurial individual. But that marketing and branding part of doing it is not available to them, and they don't have that whatever. So I get that. That said, branding and marketing is so big now because more and more people realize how vital it is. And what's big now in the area that you're in, let's talk about it a little bit because I'm fascinated by it, is AI powered automation. Because I know you have some comments
Absolutely.
about that.
Absolutely. I think that when it comes to implementing AI strategies for marketing, um,
Yes,
fairly new because I feel like we're all learning it. I remember when ChatGPT came out,
yes.
I learned anything that I could learn about it in a matter of 2 weeks. And then I taught a class to some networking ladies that I meet with them every other week. And
Uh-huh.
because they did not know anything, and I was like, I know a little bit, so I can show you guys what you can do. And I feel like ChatGPT is great. I feel like if you are a business owner who you don't have a team or don't have a big team, having
Mm-hmm.
AI is not only for ChatGPT. AI can now do transcripts for videos. It can create
Mm.
videos and can create music and can create images. I
Yes.
saw the other day this lady who does branding as well, and she uses an AI called Mid Journey, where it was that she was, I think it was a tennis tournament that she needed to brand, and
Uh-huh.
she created new AI images of tennis balls going like over cakes and stuff like that. So it's not only ChatGPT to like, hey, create an essay for me or create this or create an email campaign. It's also other tools that you can use for your business. And it can also help you automate, which is one of the things that I want to get better definitely in my business because
Mm-hmm.
I work for 2024. I would love to know yours is simplify. And it's
Ah.
definitely something that AI can help you with. Um, I really love where we're going with it. I do know, and I
Mhm.
know that you feel this way as well, that we have to understand how to use it. We have to understand
Yes.
where information is
Yes.
coming from. I started my master's degree and a week ago, and every time I send an assignment, they make you check mark that the work is yours because they are battling against all of these
Yes.
different AIs.
Yes.
And I understand that for that setting, it has to be done like that. I also understand that for business, if you're putting away information, you're sharing information, you have to make sure that the information is not being taken away from somebody else because we still don't know. We might not understand where all of this information is coming from.
Sam, that's a biggie that you just ended with because you used a word that I don't pronounce very well. Plagiarism is so big in AI, and so
Hmm.
many are doing that. And so, them making you check whatever they're asking for to make sure your work is really valid. And we're going to need ultimately, I think, more of that because so many
Absolutely.
people who don't have that creative whatever, they copy and they emulate so many others who are doing things, and we want to get away from that. But I like you. I feel that AI automation or AI is going to be phenomenal. Just like technology, we have to learn how to use it, because technology is great, but a lot of it's dreck if you don't know how to use it. And you know,
For
you mentioned, before we go on to our next topic here, you mentioned something in our pre-conversation that I want to piggyback on. You mentioned TikTok and community and content. Give us a
sure.
little bit more feedback about that, because I love the profundity of what you shared. Yeah.
Yes, one of the marketing strategies that I feel like, especially if you are the face of your business, is video. I feel like video is where people, that's how we're consuming content.
Mhm.
TikTok is one of those places where I create a lot of content and I give strategies to my clients on how to create content there, because TikTok is short form videos, right? So you get in,
Yes.
you go in. One of the things that TikTok is getting better is to become not only a social media platform, but a search engine. So when you go to the
Yes.
top section where you do the search bar, every
Mhm.
time, because people are getting better at identifying and creating better captions, better hashtags, putting captions on the video itself, and then the caption that you write what you're talking about, because people are better at defining what it is that they're talking about, the computer
Yes.
understand it better. And then if you put on the search bar carrot cake recipe, it's going to give you videos of people that are giving you that recipe. So it's becoming a search engine. So
I
it's
like
great for business owners to be there. Now, when it comes
this.
to creating community, if you're using TikTok, because I know that I've said this before, if you have a podcast, clip it and use a couple of those clips
Yeah.
for a 1 minute video on TikTok. That's a way to grow your audience, but make
Mhm.
sure to create community in between and not just, hey, this is just repurposing content that I already have on YouTube on or my long form platforms, because
Yes.
you don't want it to be just a cold um place for people to just get the clips, because it just feels
Mhm.
cold. There's no community building. But if you're repurposing but also um being there with them and creating
Yeah.
community, that's where you're going to win.
You know what? I love what you shared, and I wanted the audience to hear that, Sam, because community building and the content and the difference in how you do it, that leads me into emotional storytelling. That
Hmm.
has to be a part of that short video term and the content that you're giving out. So share with us why you have found thus far, and I think most of us, whether we can do it or not, know the validity of it. Emotional storytelling is vital in your video, in your content, and building your community. So share with us your take on that.
I think that people are buying from people more than ever before instead of companies. So we want to
Mhm.
know the company story. We want to know what they stand for. Right now, I don't know if you have seen it, but I see it every single time. Right now, people are more conscious of, who am I buying from? Why?
Yes,
What do they stand for? Especially after 2020, where everything has gotten more, even more digital. Um, every business has a TikTok, every business has a platform online. You can get canceled because you don't believe it. It's just so many different things that are happening
yes,
that you
yes,
have to create stories that people feel aligned with. And in that story, you share your vision and the beliefs that your business have and all of that. And we don't, when I say beliefs, I'm not talking about religion or politics. I'm talking about
yes,
this, the building a community. What do you stand for when it comes to being a business? What's that vision for that business? Who is it for? That's part of your story. So when I say
yes.
story, a lot of people think that it has to be, like a fairy tale and I'm reading you a book. And no,
Uh,
stories is more of, you have this vision for your business and you want to share that story of how you came about for to that vision, or
mhm.
you found a gap in your industry and you're like, I found this gap and now I want to sell this offer because this is what I feel like it's missing. That's a story there. And when you do that, you create community, because stories is one of the things as humans that we carry through generations.
Yes,
Unfortunately, we might not be able to carry a lot of physical things due to just nature and how things
yes,
happen. But
yes,
stories, they flow through history. And I feel like that sticks with us. We might not remember somebody's business name, but we remember the story of how they started. So it's just creating more space for you to identify the things that makes your business different, and then telling a story around that. And again, a story is not beginning and plot. Like, story is just more of that open conversation. And of course,
yes,
sometimes you'll have stories, but it's that open conversation is, this is why I started my business. That's a story,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So yeah.
And it ties in with what you mentioned. I put vision and mission together, and the
Mm,
people that bring, and I like when you say, who am I buying from? They really want to understand the core of that person. I had a
Absolutely.
conversation today, Sam, with a beautiful agent who was telling me, what is the difference between honesty and integrity? There is a
Mhm.
difference. And
Mhm.
so people, when they are buying from you, they want to know your, not only your honesty, but where's your integrity if they have it. Let's find out. Your
Mhm.
vision and your mission is going to hopefully bring you, when you're doing it right, to the people who are aligned with your way of thinking and doing things. So I like the way you express that and the way you change that around, because a lot of us in business, it's the purpose has been more important than the vision. The vision,
Mhm.
the purpose, but it's how do you convey that to the people that you want to connect with, the people you want to serve. That's a key. And that takes time. It takes a lot of time for most people, never
Yeah.
all, but most. And
And I
especially if you, yeah, go
I
ahead.
was just going to say that I also believe that if you identify who you're talking to, it's
Yes.
better, you're going to find it easier to tell your story. So if you are somebody who, for example, for me, oh, I want to speak to business owners who want to use social media as one of the ways
Mhm,
that they market their businesses,
mhm,
I will be talking to them directly and telling them, hey, are you tired of posting content that doesn't convert or whatever? And it's
yeah.
like, it's also thinking, where are they at right now mentally? What is it that they need to hear right now from me? If it was me, for example, I know a lot of business owners that they create a business because they needed something in that industry that was not there before. So that was them. If you needed, I remember when I started social media management, my business with social media management, there were not that many courses out there. And I was like,
Mm,
if
mhm.
I were to have continued that business as just this business as just a social media manager, I would have created something for me a couple of years ago. And sometimes that's the person that you need to speak to. You a couple
Yes.
of years ago when you didn't have the tools that you have now. And
Yeah.
you're that guide now to help them get where they need to go.
I love that. I love that, Sam. I'm going to come back to something. I'm going to help me to remember to piggyback on that word you use, gap, because
Mhm.
that's a big word. And I want to speak to something there, but I'm going to take a quick little reset now. And she's going to put you in the green room, and I'm going to speak to, at the end, I'm going to bring up your poster that you're promoting, which is asking people to connect with you, but we'll put that in towards the end. But just hold tight, and we're going to be back in just a second with you. In the meantime, do I love this conversation? You bet I do, because I, like most of us, are really gung-ho and honest, knowing now the importance of branding and marketing ourselves. And most of us really, very few are keen and good at it. That's why we need other people with us. So I'm going to invite you to join with me in Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. We have a great group of women there. Go there. It's your vision, your mission, and your purpose. It's not only mine, it's yours. I wanted to combine with you and see and collaborate. So go and click this link, take a screenshot or a snapshot, and come and join us, because there's some fabulous, absolutely brilliant Wonder Woman is in this group. Many of them, all of them, really. And you can connect and see how you can connect with them and see if there's something that you can do and collaborate with them. So make sure you get a screenshot or a snapshot. We would love to have you there. And you know what? You belong there. You belong there. The times are changing for us, and it's all good. And in conjunction with that, it's all about know thyself. However you go about it, whatever your style or your method or manner might be, this is a gift that offers you an awful lot. This is something that I discovered about 5 years ago. This lady I researched and I did a lot of homework. And let me tell you, when you get her report and her design, it is spot on. And if you're in the spiritual woo-woo tribe, we like to call it, then you will not regret this. And before I go back to Sam, I want you to just take a peek at her, which she's offering you a complimentary call. And all this information with everything else will be put up towards the end. So take your screenshot or your snapshot and let us get back to Sam. And Sam, what I want to talk about is something that you mentioned. And I want to ask your opinion about this, because
Mhm.
this kind of blew me away, because I'm with a movement for women, more or less. And this person said to me, not for me, but he said, you really have to present to people not necessarily what they want, but what they need and don't know that they need. And
Exactly.
that's an art and a skill. And that's a gap. That's seeing something that's open, but hasn't been blossomed yet. So I think when you speak about a gap in businesses that you talk to, are they aware most of the times of the gaps and the holes in their businesses that they have?
So I will say that that's that's a great, awareness is such a great word, because
Yes.
it can be used for your own marketing. So for example, when I am working with clients, I always feel like, instead of, when you're creating content, instead of
Yeah.
saying you're going through this and you need me now and buy from me and you're going through all of these things, instead of that, you should, and this is where you create awareness. Have you been experiencing this? Have you gone through this? When was the last time that you did this? Those three questions are going to open that awareness within them. They're going to be, yeah, I'm experiencing that right now. Or, yeah, I went through that, or I'm going through that right now. And they are going to listen to what happens next in the content of the copy that you're sharing with them, or whatever it is that you're telling them, because they are already aware of it. Because if you ask that qualifying question where you're like qualifying them that they are going through it,
Yes.
you're going to
Yes.
be aware, and they're going to take in whatever it is that you're telling them. So,
I love
and when you're creating marketing, when you're creating your marketing strategy, you have to look into, okay, if I am talking to people who want to be better at Instagram, for example, what
Mhm.
is it that they're not doing now? What are they experiencing? They're experiencing that they don't get any followers. They're experiencing that they don't get any leads. They're experiencing that they are creating a lot of content and putting a lot of content out there, but people are not coming in. People are not understanding. Is it the content? What it is that they're putting out? What is it that they're putting out there? Are they putting way too much? Because that might be, I know of this one lady that I did an Instagram audit like a year ago, and she was putting 2 pieces of content a day, and she was not getting people. And it's because the type of content was not calling out or creating awareness for her ideal audience. So you also have to take into consideration that you might be doing too much and you have to step back and
I
really
love that.
reframe the message.
I love that. I love that. And I love the awareness that you bring to the table when you're meeting and how they qualify. And you know what, Sam, that leads me to something that you're very big with, and so am I, and I'm learning this in interactive content, which you spoke to in a different way, how
Yes.
you engage with your audience. And you mentioned quizzes and polls as a way to do it. I love quizzes. I love
Yes.
puzzles and polls and all of that. So, how do you bring that into the equation when you're working with people?
Absolutely. So first, I will say, when it comes to interactive content, I think that what you're doing right now, I love everything, because you're able to see messages from people who are watching. That's interactive content. You're creating, when you go live, that's interactive content. So if
Mhm.
somebody's listening to this and they're like, I don't know if I can do quizzes or polls, or I don't understand the technology behind it, go live. That's
Yeah.
interactive content. You're creating an interaction live with them. The second thing that I'm going to say when it comes to quizzes and polls, I've seen the reason why I mentioned that is because I am seeing a rise on coaches, consultants, strategists, people who are service providers, who are creating quizzes that
Yes.
identify a specific problem in their,
Uh-huh.
within their marketing. For example, I saw
Mhm.
somebody, I think it was like a visibility quiz, and you would and I had a client that also did this. They did like a visibility quiz, and it will tell you
Uh-huh.
how visible you are when you're creating content. Are you creating the best content? Something like that. And I saw somebody else doing another quiz, and what happens here is two things. The first thing that happens is that the person is able to identify where they at with that specific issue that they're trying to
Mhm.
solve, right? Because if you
Yes.
do a quiz, you identify where they're at, but then you give them solutions, and then you can invite them to a one-on-one call, and you can invite them to do. And then the other thing that's really powerful for businesses who are doing quizzes or polls is that you're also getting their email. So you're able to bring them onto your
Mhm.
email list and go grow your email list and sell them in the future, if that's what you want to do, which is, I hope, if you're a business, that's what you're wanting to do. So I think
Ultimately.
it's a win-win situation. It also, um, I saw a quiz that was what type of content you should be sharing. And it was asking, what do you like to talk about? What type of business do you have? It was something like that. And then it will give you
Yes.
educational content, or more emotional content, or more entertainment content. It will give you your result. And then it will also like invite you to like a webinar or something like that. So it's also like a funnel for businesses.
I like that you bring in the funnel thing, but the really great thing, all of it, but when you take a quiz or a poll or a puzzle or whatever, and it connects and aligns with the business and the vision that you have, your
Absolutely.
purpose, and you're answering a question that they have. You know, one of the things that they use a lot, and I would go to all of these different meetings, and I never liked this, that you address somebody's pain. Well, a lot of
Hmm.
people don't even realize that they might have a not even pain that they're struggling with something. They might not be, I like your word, aware of it. So it's
Mhm.
bringing attention to something like that. And you do that in however you question or put together your
Yeah.
quizzes and your polls and so on and so forth. So I like that. It makes sense. And I really think that that's a great way to interact with people because the majority of people, I always say it's never all, really enjoy poses and quiz and likes taking them and all of that. You see a lot of it on Facebook all the time.
Absolutely.
You know, the time flies here, and we have one other point that I want to bring up because it's one of my favorite platforms that I don't utilize that much.
Mhm.
And yet I'm feeling that it could be very good, and that's Pinterest. How
Absolutely.
can we work and personalize more with Pinterest? We only have a few minutes here, but that's a good, I like this platform, but I've never been able to leverage and use it the way I need to.
I love that because I feel like there's two things we have spoken throughout this conversation a lot about
Yes,
social media marketing and social media platforms. And Pinterest started as a visual search engine, and I know that right now they're trying to be a social media,
yes, yes, yes,
but
yes.
at heart, like to their soul, what they are is a visual search engine. And people
Mhm.
go there to search. They're not there to follow and to become content creators there. They are not there to create a community. It's more of a when you're
Discover.
looking at Pinterest and you're looking at somebody's profile, the views are more important than the followers itself. So you might have 200 followers, but you get 20,000 monthly views because that's 20,000 monthly eyes. Usually, it's not exactly 20,000. It might be the same person viewing different pieces of content, but 20,000 monthly views, it means 20,000 times that somebody saw your content on Pinterest, whether they were looking for it or the algorithm was feeding that to them because they're looking for something similar. I
Mhm.
love Pinterest because Pinterest is, because if it's a bit, because it's a search engine, you can create content where the copy and the title and the image is as if somebody was going to look for it. So, for example, if you are looking to how to become better at video editing, you will type on Google how to be better at at editing videos or how to edit better videos. People do that on Pinterest, and what's going to happen if there's a video editor business and they're wanting to create more traffic to their website, they're going to go
Yes.
to Pinterest and they're going to create content that says how to do better video editing. And then
Ah,
find it and
I
that bring traffic because it's way different than Instagram. Instagram, you
well,
go and you have to scroll. On
well,
Pinterest,
Sam,
yeah.
I love learning, and I never even visualized or thought of it in that way. But you open up a whole new vista for me
Yes.
because a visual social media, it started out and now it's really like a search engine and how to use it. I think that's powerful. And the time flies here, but I want to go back to somewhat that we talked about a bit earlier about TikTok. TikTok started off, and I'm aligning this somewhat with the search engine that's TikTok in a different way, because I think when they began, and if I'm incorrect, please correct me, I have no shame.
Mhm.
TikTok started out for a young market, but it is no longer. It's across the board. It predominantly is for young, but everyone is using TikTok now. Do you agree
It's a
with that? Have you seen that? Yes,
I'm going to
that?
tell you something. It's a community builder.
A
People are going
community building.
people are going there to share short form videos. I have
Yes.
seen moms who share their daily life and they're making thousands of dollars because they get views, right? And thousands of
Ah,
dollars a month because they get views, right? So you have to be really smart at how you look into TikTok. You have to be smart in how you go into TikTok. So I
I,
definitely think that TikTok is just where it needs to be. I absolutely love it. It's just a
I
community.
I'm
Mhm.
learning more and more about it and beginning to really like it. I don't know where the time goes, Sam. I say this every Wednesday night, but I just say it. I want her to put up your poster, and I want you to share a little bit about what you're offering as far as people coming to you for a complimentary and what you can offer and so on and so forth. And then I'll say goodbye. But in the meantime, I want you to speak to the complimentary session that you're offering to the people who come to you
Absolutely. I
this time.
offer
Yes.
always a complimentary session with me where you can book it at samdraland.com. I apologize, it's actually under construction, but you will find a link there. And yeah,
Okay.
I am so excited and happy to be here. You can schedule a call for me to look into one of your platforms and give you feedback. I'm always here for you. And thank you so much.
I think that'll be great. And we all need that feedback and feedback from another eye, another ear, everything. Sam,
Absolutely.
I love the work you're doing and I have seen what you do. And I'm absolutely honored that you are now a leading lady featured guest speaker and we are aligned and working together. I'm going to say so long for now. You can say so long for the audience and I'll see you in the
Thank
next go round. All righty.
you.
What can I tell you? The time flies here. I say this every week. I say it, but I can't help it. I get excited. And some of these days, one of these days, I'll calm down. But thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. If you're here now or you come for the replay, and know that we always are featuring for you leading ladies who will bring you benefits that will help you and support you on your journey. Much, much love, my friends. Be and stay well. Look after you so that you can look after all the people who need your love and your wisdom and your knowledge, which is one and the same. Take care. Much love. So long for now. Cheers.